at the far end of the Ilaho, where the fireweed grows and the wind smells burnt and dry when it blows, is the clear cut of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the fireweed, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? Why was she there? Why was she lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of the Ilaho where the fireweed grows. The old interfoiler still rules there. Ask him, he knows. You rarely see the interfoiler. He hides in his corporate tower, flexing his corporate power.
Now I'll tell you how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the air was still clean and the song of the swarmy swans rang out in spurs. One morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees. Those old growth truffula trees. The bright colored tops of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloots. I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. And from the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of humming fish humming. While splashing around. But those trees, those old growth truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tuft was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I had to do, so I unloaded my cart. And in no time at all, I had built a small shop and chopped down one truffula giant with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted at the need. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a woman. Describe her? Well, that's hard. I don't know that I can. She was spritish and youngish and brownish and mossy, and she spoke with a voice that was bitchy and bossy.
Mister! I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I am asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs, what is that thing you have made out of my truffula tuft?
Look, Lorax, there is no cause for alarm. I am being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. And a thneed is a fine something that all people need. It is a disposable napkin, McDonald's paper bags, and Vancouver, and all that disposable crap. But it has other uses, it's far beyond that.
Like what?
It is newspaper and pamphlets and disposable all that. But if we don't use it all, we don't waste a bit. We square the log off and we put it on a ship.
Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool's need.
The very next instant, I proved she was wrong. For just at that moment, a chap came along and thought the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor, stupid guy. You can never tell what some people will buy.
I repeat, I speak for the trees. I repeat, I speak for the trees. I repeat, I speak
Shut
for
up!
the trees.
I'm busy, if you please. And in no time at all, in the factory I'd built, the whole Interforler Corporation was as busy as bees, chopping down old-growth truffula trees. Oh, and oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. And soon, one worker chopping down one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented the super feller buncher, which chopped down 4 truffula giants in one muncher. We were chopping down trees 4 times as fast as before. And I axed jobs so I could have a lot more. And that old nuisance Lorax, well, she didn't come back anymore. But the next day,
Knock, knock, knock.
she knocked on my new office door.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees, which you seem to be hacking as fast as you please. But I am also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and who happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there is not enough truffula fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots, they've all got the crummies from gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here. But I can't let them stay. So they will have to blockade and get in your way.
We're only barbaloots, and you're making us sad.
We don't want your job, so please don't get mad.
We need old-growth forests, for they are our homes.
So please go away and leave us alone.
You barbaloots, well, you're nothing but trouble. I've seen your kind before. So I'll call the IWA, and we'll even the score. The IWA, we go way back. Hey, boys, they only want your jobs. Attack! I, the Interforler, felt sad as I watched them go. But business is business, and business must grow. regardless of crummies in tummies, you know. I meant no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger and bigger I got. I biggered my factories, I biggered my loads, I biggered my wagons. I biggered the roads and the loads of the thneeds I'd shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the east, to the west, to the south, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds. And I biggered my money, which everyone needs. And again, she came back. I was mixing some pulp when that old nuisance Lorax said with a gulp,
Interfoiler, you are making such smogulous smoke. Why, my poor swanny swans, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. And so, please, pardon our coughs. They cannot live here, so they are blocking you off.
this time, I, the interfoiler, called the RCMP, who brought an injunction and ignored the swan's plea.
Once more, let me tell you a thing or two about gluppity-glup and schloppity-schlop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glup and schloppity-schlop, and what do you do with this leftover goo? I will show you, you dirty old interfoiler man, you! You have glucked up the ponds where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I am sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They will walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary.
Then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I'm telling you, Lorax, I have my tree farm license. And I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you, Lorax, you, I am figuring. I'm figuring on biggering and big, biggering, selling, chopping down more truffula trees, turning them into threes, which everyone needs. The very next moment, we heard a loud whack.
Whack.
From out in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree, and then we heard the tree fall. It was the very last old-growth truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. Now all that was left, 'neath the foul-smelling sky, was my big empty factory. Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. Gave me a very sad, backward glance. As she lifted herself by the seat of her pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on her face as she hoisted herself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was one large rock with the word, unless. Whatever that meant. Well, I just couldn't guess. And that was all a long, long time ago. And each day since that day, I've worried and worried away through the years while my buildings have fallen apart. I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, things aren't going to get better. They most certainly are not. We're in charge of the last of the old-growth trees. And old-growth trees are what everyone needs. Stoltman, Claquot, Walbrand, Easter. To protect the old growth, everyone knows. We must end clear-cutting and build no more roads. Keep all of the feller bunchers away, and the Lorax and friends have a home here to stay.
Cops are watching us.